How many times have you said, "Who cares? They're just words." But words have weight. They are strong and can be both positive and negative. Andrea Camilleri said, "We are losing the measure, the weight, the value of the words. They are stones, they can be bullets." The singer Tiziano Ferro, in a monologue, stressed the dangerousness of their use with regard to the spreading phenomenon of bullying. It was 2013 when Carolina, a 14 years old from Novara, left this message before jumping into the void. "Words hurt more than strokes," she wrote. Hers was the first trial in Italy for cyberbullying. But my interest in language started in my primary school years. I liked it when the teacher made us match as many words as we knew to the letters of the alphabet. At school, we had also learned that mankind had not always been as it is today, but had evolved. From quadrupedal to bipedal, it had begun to use its hands, had built tools, and had learned to communicate not only verbally, but also in writing. Not immediately, but step by step, and from pictographic writing it had switched to phonetic writing, as Kipling imaginatively tells in Just So Stories. In the Bible, the Creator of all things had granted only to men the privilege of naming them, of giving them a name, of knowing them, to things but not to Him who had created them, who had revealed Himself only to Moses with the unreputable name of Yahweh, that is, I am who I am. Quite differently, the Greeks and Romans named their gods according to their operational specificity. Mars, the god of war, Eros, the god of love, and so on. It was from these two peoples that came our way of expressing ourselves in a language that spread rapidly with military conquest and trade. And from it, with the passing of centuries and dominations, another language, the vernacular, emerged. At first only spoken by the people, but later adopted for its extraordinary richness by the genius of world literature, Dante Alighieri. So it gained official approval without, however, the rules of its construction being written down. It was Pietro Bembo who did this in the 16th century with the first grammar, where it was recognized the superiority of Florentine over all other regional linguistic expressions, a concept confirmed by writers like Alessandro Manzoni. Since then, the Italian language has increasingly evolved because only dead languages do not change. Nowadays, social changes try to introduce in the grammar. An example is gender equality, so that the female mayor becomes the mayoress, and so on. It's okay, but the problem comes when it is not just a matter of changing, but of replacing without valid reasons, and often in an unclear manner. To record this phenomenon, you only need to look around, especially in a small town like mine, a provincial town of 100,000 inhabitants.
This is how the car line for the COVID tests becomes a drive-through. Shops opening and closing are temporary stores. Surgeries are done in a day hospital, and the bank lift is a sharing service. Comedian Brignano points out that the misuse of a foreign language is meant to increase personal prestige, and saying that you go to a holiday inn rather than a holiday guest house, or having brunch instead of breakfast is much more in. Quite different is the relationship with foreign languages in countries such as Spain, France, and even Ukraine, where national pride is so felt that even the untranslatable is translated. It is no coincidence that the hot dog in Spanish is perro caliente and the computer in French is l'ordinateur. Similarly, the Ukrainians refuse to speak Russian, a kind of parallel war to the military one. But the Italian language is so rich and varied that it has no need of foreign borrowings. There are dialects, regional languages with their own peculiarities. the Neapolitan for music, the Romanesco for satire, affluents that constantly bring water to the great river of the national language. Expecting the danger of excessive contamination, the Accademia della Crusca was founded in 1583 with the aim of separating pure words from impure ones, in the same way as flour is separated from bran. In 1612, it was published the first vocabulary of the Italian language. Today, the Academy is facing all kinds of requirements, from neologism to dialect expressions that would enter in common use. It is understandable that scientists want English as a common language, but divulgation should be done in Italian, because, as Marzini says, Italian